Hello, everyone. Welcome, or welcome back. I'm Liesl. I almost said I'm Ian.
Well, that would be interesting. I'm Ian.
I'm Liesl.
We've been married for
5 years.
5 years. We just hit the 5-year mark. The 5-year mark. Actually, it's been almost a month now. A couple weeks.
A couple weeks.
Couple weeks ago.
5 years and 2 weeks. But before we get any further, pause, like, comment, subscribe. Well, I guess you can't comment, but you can like it.
You can comment.
Do you like our faces?
Just write the word comment.
No.
Engagement.
Engagement? Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. And let's go.
Here we go. So we decided to do a little quick video on our first 5 years of marriage.
We kind of talked about this like during we went out for our anniversary, obviously a couple weeks ago. And we were just kind of talking and just figured like we would talk about what we talked about.
Yeah.
In a video. Let's chat now.
All right. Well, before we get into it, how has marriage been for you? Just like a blanket statement. Is it more than you expected? Less? Is it different? Is it the same? 5 years, we're half a decade
5
in.
years.
What are you feeling?
It's great. Honestly, if you're like afraid of marriage because of your parents or other relationships that you've seen, I would say your situation is different. Your relationship is completely different. Or if you're not in a relationship, your relationship will be completely different than somebody else's relationship that you've seen because you're not in that relationship. It's you and whoever you choose to be with, right. Two completely different people having two completely different experiences. So right. I would say don't let somebody else's experience of marriage or of a relationship deter you from wanting to get married or wanting to be in a relationship.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Marriage is so different than what I thought it would be in the best way possible.
Why don't you elaborate on that since you're saying that? We'll get into the things we learned in a minute.
It's not all like cupcakes and rainbows like you see on TV. And it's, at least for us, it's not like we're not butting heads all of the time or even frequently. I feel like that's the thing too, is a lot of people say marriage is hard. I don't know if we just have a really great marriage, but being married to Ian isn't hard. Being married to you isn't hard. We've experienced like... I don't think being married to you is hard. I don't think being married, I've never been married before, obviously. I don't think being married in general is hard. Mm-hmm. Again, other people have different experiences.
Right.
But being married to him isn't hard. We've experienced hard things.
Yeah.
But as like personalities or even just as two people being married, I wouldn't say being married to you has been hard. And I was prepared for that because everyone says that.
Oh, be careful. Marriage is hard. Or like, what do they say? The second year is the hardest or the first? Did they say the first year or the second year?
The first year is the hardest, which I don't
know.
So.
I mean, we had hardships.
But. Yeah, we had hardships. But being married wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Being married isn't hard for us. Would you say the same?
Yeah, I would say exactly the same thing. And I think the reason being, I'm just going to get into kind of some things that I've learned, but that I was prepared for was patience.
Yeah.
I think patience. So like if you're prepared to go in with patience and with grace for the other person, because like everybody thinks that they're perfect. Not perfect, but you know, the things that I do, obviously they don't annoy me because I do them, but they may annoy her and likewise her for me. So going in with patience, saying, I know I'm going to live with this person forever. I'm going to live with this person forever. I know there are going to be certain things that irritate me, but what really matters and what's not that big of a deal. And I think not trying to be so rigid, like you be exactly like me.
Yeah.
Live how I live. Do what I do. I don't know. I think patience is really key.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned. So much patience over the last 5 years. Because, again, things are not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But man, can you make a big deal in your mind. Mm-hmm. I think I've said this at least in 3 videos. Liesl used to leave paper towels out all over the counter for days on end. And I'd throw them away and I'd be like, why do you leave your paper towels out? Half
I'm
used.
gonna use them.
And she's like, I'm going to use them. I'm like, when? It's Friday. This was out since Tuesday. Half used on the counter. Just looks terrible. It really bothered me. But then like I would throw my wet towel on the floor and stuff like that. So, you know.
Or when we had water bottles, they would just be
lots of water bottles. So anyways, I've learned to be patient. I'm still working on it, but I feel like patience will go a long way to avoid fights and conflict if you're just open-minded to be patient and have some grace. Yeah.
Same, I guess.
Well, what do you have?
That's what I said. I said, I don't think I don't think marriage is hard. Again, different experiences, but I don't think being married to you is hard. So if
Well, right then. It looks like you hit the jackpot.
Patience, I did. Because I know a lot of people say being married is hard, but I feel like if you're not 100% comfortable with, I just posted about this, if you don't completely trust who you're with, and if you're not completely open and transparent and comfortable, then I feel like that can hinder your intimacy and your closeness and really just your whole relationship.
Yeah, honesty is very key because honesty plays into trust.
Yeah.
I think obviously dishonesty really has a negative effect on trust. But sometimes you cannot be completely honest. It's kind of like lying by omission, but not, you know what I'm saying? But
with your feelings, with anything really.
Anything. So I feel like if you're going to be open, I'm going to be open. Call me out.
Yeah.
I'll call you out.
Yeah.
You know, being able to say, I trust that you're not just trying to hurt my feelings. That's a big thing for honesty is like be honest with love, not honest with the intention of like pushing a button or hurting you.
Yeah. He's never ever intentionally hurt me.
Yeah, no, I don't see your point. Why would I do that, you know?
He's never done anything to intentionally push my buttons. We tease here and there, but you've never done anything knowing that I'm going to get upset.
Right. Yeah, because you're my wife and I love you and I'm supposed to protect you, and even when you really make me mad. See the big picture. Don't be so narrowed in on little stupid things.
If something does bother you in the moment, I feel like this is something that I'm still working on. If something bothers you in the moment, don't stuff that down and let that grow and fester and turn into something big when it could have just been dealt with when it was like this tiny.
Right. Yeah, what's that weird thing about human nature that you don't want to deal with things? Like, you know, I really need to deal with this.
Yeah.
But then something about you makes you want to like just hold on to it, and then you lie to yourself and say, whatever, it's not that big of a deal, but it is.
I think that's what it is.
But you know it's not a big, you know it is a big deal to you, but then you say it's not a big deal and you just put it down here.
I want it to not be a big deal.
Shove it on down.
At least that's what it is for me. I want things to not be a big deal, but then by not dealing with it and not addressing it, they become a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, I might as well just say something while it's this small, and then I don't. And
right.
Every time I'm just like, why didn't I just say something? Or he'll say, why didn't you just say something? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a mind reader. Or I wish I was, but I'm not.
Yes, ladies, guys are not mind readers.
And even if you think you're being clear on cues or signals, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're probably not. Or maybe you are, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I pick up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, what is going on? And then it'll come out days later, and you're like, well, I was upset because you didn't make the bed. I was like, well, I didn't know I didn't know you wanted me to. I mean, I should make the bed, but I didn't realize that was a thing. You know, like sometimes we don't make the bed, sometimes we do.
I always make the bed.
But I never thought about it. But instead of saying, hey, can you please make the bed? Please just make the bed. I want it to look nice. I didn't think anything of it, and you were mad at me for days. And then it came out later that I didn't make the bed. And I was like, dang, for 3 days you were mad at me about that?
No.
It seems so little. Just say, hey, I'm mad at you for not making the bed. Can you please make the bed next time?
But in my defense, that was just one minor thing that I guess like it was like the domino effect. It was like other little things.
And that's what happens when you stuff things down.
That is what happens. So
yeah.
Take it from me. Don't. If something small is bothering you, just deal with it right away, as opposed to thinking like, I'll be fine, because then something else is going to trigger you. Something else is going to set you off, and you're just going to be like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Not this, but
I know.
Bottom line, handle things as they come up and you will be much happier. This is something that has been a learning process. But 5 years. Excuse you.
Is that my phone?
That is your phone.
I think the most important thing, they're all important, but is to individually and collectively maintain our relationship with the Lord. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes when you go through hard things, sometimes it's easy to isolate from other humans, even like you and I, but also from God. Like you're overwhelmed, so you just shut down. And that's like the worst thing to do, because as soon as you start like relying on yourself and your own strength, your own patience, your own ability to reason, like it gets really overwhelming quickly. Yeah. And then I know for myself, if I do that and I'm not really praying, I'm not spending time with God, I'm just kind of in my own little stress bubble here, I take it out on you. I notice it too. I get short. I get kind of snippy. I may hurt your feelings. Like I never do it intentionally,
Yeah.
but because I'm so wound up, sometimes I'll lash out and and just say and just have an attitude or something
Yeah.
and hurt feelings. So like
But
really,
you've never, like you said, he's never like intentionally hurt me. It'll just be like a response to something, and I'm just like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But it's not like we don't name call. We do not
No.
name call in this household.
No.
We don't cut each other down. I feel like we keep saying that because I feel like a lot of relationships that happens.
Yeah.
So if that's happening in your relationship, you got to address it and nip it in the bud.
And even me, like, we're best friends. Like,
Yeah.
we're lovers, too. But we're best friends. This is my best friend.
Yeah.
We like to tease and we joke around. And Lisa likes it when I'm sarcastic. It makes her laugh. So I find myself being sarcastic sometimes. But even on video, sometimes I'm like, hey, when I was teasing you, like, on a vlog or something like that, does that come off disrespectful? Because I never want to put out, like,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to look like I'm disrespecting you. And usually she's like, no, whatever, it's funny. But sometimes, it can go a little far where you're
But
like,
I let you know.
yeah. But my point is,
Yeah.
there is a line there to
Ian
where.
is way more sensitive to things like that than I am.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate because I don't think of that and I don't think like that. So, which is great to have someone in a relationship. It's great to marry someone who is not like you. We are very different, even though at the core our values are the same, our morals are the same.
Mm-hmm.
We, I would say, are very different people in how we handle things,
Yeah.
the way we think, obviously. I mean, men and women think differently.
Yeah.
Completely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just nice to be married to someone that does think like that and has always put other people first. I'm the first person, if I see a bench open at a restaurant, I'm the first one to sit down and he'll be standing next to me and I'm like, why are you standing? He's like, well, in case someone else wants to sit. And I just don't think like that. I see open bench, I'm going to plant my cheeks and I want you to sit down next to me.
Yeah.
But he's always like, well, what if somebody else wants this cocktail shrimp? And I'm just like, what? I'm eat with me. But I appreciate that about you.
Yeah.
I love that about you. It has shifted the way I think and I see things for sure. And I just really appreciate that.
Oh, well, thank you. I love you. Likewise with you. Like she said, we're different. So I feel like we complement each other. Liesel is very like, go get it. Don't take no for an answer. She's taught me a lot through that too. So just like I'm very go with the flow and she's like, go with purpose toward that shrimp. And I'm like, I don't need to eat the shrimp. I could eat the shrimp or not eat the shrimp. It wouldn't affect me one bit. I could stand here or sit down. It doesn't change anything. I don't feel good to sit down if I see a pregnant lady walk in. Anyway, so
That's true, but you could get up. In the meantime, sit.
I don't need to though. It's just like I park far sometimes, even if there's a close parking spot. Because like, what if somebody is injured? Well, what if somebody's like hurt or injured or old and they don't have like a handicap sticker yet, but maybe they need one?
That's
Well, I'm gonna walk. I'm able-bodied and
I
young.
know.
I'm gonna walk 4 feet. I can walk the extra 100 feet or something like that.
and I'm like, princess parking.
I know.
Woo.
I mean, I do park close sometimes, but sometimes if I think about it, don't park there. Park a little further. Somebody might need that spot. So, anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with marriage. That's just parking. But
It's our marriage.
it is our marriage. But yeah, you're gonna be different. We're different. We complement each other. What else?
One of my favorite things about our marriage is that I truly married my best friend. What I mean by that is I feel like a lot of women, when they get together, complain about their husbands and they just don't want to be around them. And I love being around him. I'm not eager to get away from him or send him off to go play golf with his buddies, even though he does. But
I mean, you could do
I'm
that
not-
more often if you wanted to.
I feel like a lot of complaints over the pandemic were like, oh, my husband's home now all the time. My wife is home all the time. We're going crazy. He was home all the time and I was just like, yeah, let's party. Let's have fun.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I love being around you. I love my alone time. Of course, everyone does. But it's not that I don't want him to be around. I just want to be alone. It's not you. It's not you. It's me. I just don't want to talk to anyone. And it could be anyone. It was the same when I was living at home. Like, I just want to be alone in my room, in my own space. Like, not having to be conscious of someone else other than myself. That sounds really selfish. But you guys know.
Sometimes you need your alone time. That's fine. Yeah.
But it's not like I can't be around you right now. I don't want to be around you. I want to be around him all of the time. Sometimes I just want to be alone. But 99% of the time, I want him around.
Yeah, we have fun together.
Me too. Even if we're hanging out in the same room or not the same room, like, I just want to know that he's there.
Yeah, that's true.
Love you.
I love you too. Oh my gosh.
But
yeah.
I feel like if you don't want to be around your significant other all of the time, and you don't have to be around them all the time, but if you get irritated with their presence, that's probably something that you should check into.
There might be some underlying hurt or unforgiveness there or something.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just annoyed by them being around, you're offended at something maybe, and that never got dealt with, and maybe you stuffed it down and you don't know what it is anymore, but it's there.
And we know, couples love each other, and they're like, oh, I'm just so glad to get rid of him. And I'm just like, what? I know this is a girls' brunch, but if it wasn't, I would have brought him with me.
Yeah. And again, we've only been married 5 years. It's not like we've been married for 25 years.
But I know there are a lot of people, I'm in a lot of online groups.
I know.
Of women that complain about their husbands, or even just going to group things. That's a common topic, and I've never thought like that. I've always, even when we were dating, we saw each other. We didn't live together, and we still managed to see each other every day.
Yeah.
In conclusion, marry your best friend.
2,
talk about everything.
Honesty, open, transparent.
Trust. Everything, from the big things to the small things.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee your spouse is interested. And if they're not...
They're not always going to be interested, just by the way. But then spouse, that means you need to be selfless and entertain, when your wife wants to talk about something that maybe you're not interested in.
But at least your thoughts are known and they're out there. You put them out there. It's not unknown information like, where did this come from? I had no idea.
Right.
At least it's been said. So talk about everything.
Mm-hmm. Number 3, God is important, the most important thing. Mm-hmm. So pray together. Have a relationship individually, so you don't have to do life by yourself. You don't have to handle stress and worries and stuff alone.
Trust. We keep saying that, but trust.
Yep.
Make sure you like who you marry. That's very important. I like to be around you. You should like
around you too. Yeah.
You gotta like who you marry.
That's true. It'll make things easier. It'll make things flow.
It'll make things more fun.
But you won't always like the things they do. So be patient. All right. Be selfless.
Yes.
Love them unconditionally. And, have a great marriage.
Yeah. And you too could be married for 5 years.
Oh, man. Anyway, well, I'm sure we left some stuff out.
Yeah.
But we just kind of wanted to chat a little bit since our anniversary just passed. And hopefully that was entertaining. Hopefully you got something from it, or just enjoyed watching us talk about ourselves.
Learned a little more about us, our marriage, what's worked for us, what didn't work for us.
Boom.
That's that. All right. All right, guys. Like this video if you liked it. Comment.
Share it.
Subscribe. We love talking to you guys.
We do. This is always fun. So.
And of course.
Be blessed, all right? Don't stress. And we'll see you in the next video. When's our next video?
Soon.
Very soon. We'll see you soon. All right. Take care.